What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to Throwback Tuesday, formerly known as Throwback Thursday here on my channel, where every week we create a look with an older eyeshadow palette from my collection that's always chosen by you. Now, the way this normally works is I post a poll over my community section with 4 palettes that you have to choose from. I give you a few days to vote, and then we create a look with the winning palette. Now, unfortunately, I dropped the ball last week. I completely forgot to post my poll. I had everything up and ready to go, and I just forgot to schedule it, and I didn't even realize it until I sat down to prepare for this video, so I apologize for that. But the palette that we are playing with today was a suggestion from one of you, so technically it still falls in the parameters of a palette chosen by you, and that is going to be the Sunrise palette from Natasha Denona. And I'm actually really excited that we're going to play with this palette today because I think the color story in here is beautiful. I love these sort of sunrise sunset vibes that the color story gives, with these more purpley plummy leaning red shades, the oranges, the yellows in here. I think the shimmers are absolutely beautiful, and I'm excited to create a look with this palette. Now, unfortunately, it is discontinued. It's no longer available anywhere. I could not find it, but I will have everything else that I am wearing on my face and I use in today's video to create my look listed and linked down below in that description box for y'all. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos from my channel, always check the description box because I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's zoom in, prime my eyes, and get into creating our look. Alright, y'all, the eyes are primed and ready to go with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly. And to start off this look, I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with this mid-tone yellow shade up here, which is called Citrine. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a Morphe M453 brush. And I'm going to start by kind of putting this sort of in the center of my lid, keeping it in my crease area. So I'm not going to bring it over past like right here, and I'm not going to bring it over to the outer portion either. I want to do sort of like a sunset look with this palette. I know it's a sunrise palette, but I always want to call it the sunset palette for some reason. So I'm going to start by just kind of packing this shade right here. I'm not really worried about what's going on my lid, and I'm just going to kind of build it up to the intensity that I want it, and then start to kind of blend it and soften those edges just a little bit. But I apologize for not having my poll up. I truly thought it had been up the whole week. I had everything planned out. I thought I had it scheduled for last Wednesday, and apparently I just never sat down to do it. I had everything together, and for some reason things just kind of got away from me. It was a very busy week last week, and it's okay. Life happens, things happen, but I do already have my poll scheduled to go up for tomorrow. It is there, it is ready to go, so y'all will have the 4 palettes to choose from. But nonetheless, I am really excited to play with this palette. This one is a little bit newer in my collection. I did get it from a friend of mine. She no longer wanted it in her collection and asked me if I wanted it and wanted to give it a good home, and of course I said yes. So that is how I obtained this palette. I did not get it when it launched. I wanted it when it launched though. I thought it was so beautiful. And in fact, I really wanted the bigger one. I think it was called the Sunset palette, I think is what that one was. I think there was the Sunrise and the Sunset palette. I could be wrong, but I love these warm tones. I love it when you have like the yellows, the oranges, and the reds together, because I love making a look kind of with a gradient of those shades. And that's kind of what we're going to do today, is something along those lines. So next we're going to go into this deeper of like the yellowy orangey shade down here, which is called Carnelian, and I am going to pick that up with a BK Beauty 212 brush, and I'm going to start to put this on my outer corner. So I'm just going to start by pressing it out here and kind of building up the shape that I want and blending it into that first shade that I put down. So I have like this gradient going on my lid. So I'm just going to keep pressing and building that shade up, and then just like I did with the first shade, once I have it down to the intensity that I want, I can start to kind of buff out the edges and blend it out just a little bit. But I am loving that shade. I'm loving the gradient that we have in this palette. Oh, I wish she would bring this one back, or even kind of give us a little bit of a play on this color story. Maybe kind of update the formula, update the shades a little bit, because there are some shades in here I feel like we didn't necessarily need. Like the lightest one here in here, which is called Morgan. It's like a peachy shade. I could honestly do without that one, but generally I think this is a beautiful palette and I really love the color story. Next, I want to go into this lighter of the yellowy shades down here, which is called Morning. And I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO2 brush. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my lid. So I'm just going to start by kind of packing it right here on my very inner corner. And then I'm going to start to kind of blend it up into that first shade that I put down. So again, giving me that softer gradient from the lightest shade to the deepest shade. And then in just a minute, we're going to deepen up this outer corner. And then I think we're going to do like one of the more berry leaning shades on the lower lash line to really kind of give the full effect that I have envisioned with this look. Okay, so I think I want to do the lower lash line and then deepen up the outer corner so I can tie everything together. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, I think, this shade right here, which is called Glory. And I'm just going to kind of fluff that along the entirety of my lower lash line. So I'm going to pick it up with a Singe Beauty EO4 brush, and I'm just going to go in with very soft kind of back and forth motions. I'm not bringing it down too low. I'm not tight lining. I'm just kind of dispersing it down there, softening it, and giving me that extra added pop of color that I want. But I do think I want to go in with just a little bit of that darker berry shade at the bottom too, and kind of keep that on sort of like the outer half. So I'm going to go ahead and focus this more so on the inner half of my lower lash line, and then we'll go back in with that other shade. So with that same brush that I just used, I just wiped it off really good. I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is like a brownie plummy shade. It's called Clove, and I'm going to put that on sort of this outer half of my lower lash line. So just giving me a little bit more depth and smokiness towards that outer corner. So I'm just going to keep it really tight out here and do the same thing on the other eye as well. Now we're going to go in with this orange shade right here, which is called Jasper, and we're going to deepen up this outer corner just a little bit. So I'm going to pick that up with a Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just very lightly going to press it right here on my very outer corner. I might go in with a little bit of that Clove shade that we just used on the lower lash line to deepen this up a little bit more, but honestly, I'm kind of liking that right there. I don't think we need any more depth out here. You absolutely can, but I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this right here. I fully had the intention of going in with that shade, but yeah, I'm really liking the gradient that we have going on. So I'm just going to keep kind of building and blending and winging it out just a little bit, and then I'm going to prime my eye with my NYX glitter primer, and we're going to put some shimmer on the lid. All right, y'all, so for this look, I think I want to do a combination of these two shades right here. I thought about going in with this more purpley leaning shade, but I just don't think I'm going to like the way that it's going to look with this. But let's do a swatch and see what we think. That could look really pretty. Maybe we should go for it. But then there's this shade right here, and this is the first one that I kind of had in mind. I thought that would really go with sort of that fiery sunset vibe that we have going on. So I think I'm just gonna roll with it and do that one, and then we'll probably do this one on the inner corner. So that shade is called Azalea. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick some more of it up with my finger, and I'm just gonna kind of press this all over my lid, bring it over to the inner corner, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way into the inner corner because I do want to go in with that lighter shade. I think that is so pretty. I will say there's definitely an improvement with the Natasha Denona shimmers compared to this palette. Like, these are very pretty, they're very reflective and smooth, but her newer shimmer formula just has that extra added wow factor that I love in her shimmer formula. They're a little bit more sparkly, they're a little bit more like wet effect on the lid, and they just lay down better. Like this one, I feel like the more I add, it can start to emphasize texture, so I have to be really careful with that, but still absolutely beautiful, and it's really bringing this look to life. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Agate. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of it with my pinky. That's what the shade looks like right there. And I'm going to pop this on the inner portion of my lid. And do I want to bring that into the inner corner? I can't decide yet. I think I'm going to leave the inner corner matte. I kind of like what we have going on. So I'm just going to kind of blend that up onto the lid into that first shade that we put down, giving that same effect that we have throughout the rest of the look. And then I'm going to throw on some liner and mascara, and I will come back and show y'all the completed look. All right, y'all, so this is our completed look, and I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. I love the sort of gradient that we have going on the lid, from the yellow to the orange with that pop of like berry red on the lower lash line. I think the shimmers are absolutely beautiful, and overall, I'm excited that I get to wear this look for the rest of my day. But let's go over what I used to finish off this look. So of course, we can turn the lights down, see the shimmer, the shift, the sparkle, and then close out this video. So in my lower waterline, I went in with an Appeal gel liner. This is in the shade Next Level. I lined my lid, of course, with my ZC Liquid liquid liner, which is on its last leg, unfortunately. And I think I have another one on the way to me. And then to finish everything off, I went in with my Judydoll Curling Iron Mascara. Alright y'all, so that is going to complete this week's Throwback Tuesday video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and as always, we're able to get a little bit of inspiration from today's look. I always have so much fun sitting down and filming these videos. Truly, they are one of my favorite to film for y'all. But as always, if there's ever a palette that you want to see included in Throwback Tuesday, leave it down below in that comment section, and if I have it in my collection, I am more than happy to pull it. But while you're down there, let me know all of your thoughts as well. Let me know if you have this palette in your collection, what you thought of the look, if you have something in your collection that you can recreate this look with. I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation, light up that comment section, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.